It was reported today that during the Dallas Mavericks practice, Jason Kidd had both Daniel Gafford as well as Derrick Lively work on their three-point shot. Now, we all know that our two bigs are getting their points exclusively from the paint, whether that be dunks, layups, the lobs, or the putbacks. But to see Jason Kidd having our two bigs work on their three-point shot, where I don't know if Daniel Gafford really takes that many threes, but I know Derrick Lively can at least hit a few in the open gym situation, but it shows that the Mavericks might be extremely confident in themselves that they'll be able to take over this series, finish in Game 6, and move on to the Denver Nuggets or the Minnesota Timberwolves, whoever wins in Game 7. And that may allude to the update that we have regarding Maxi Kleber and his timetable to return from his own injury. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, if you guys could just drop a like, let's try to get to 300 likes on this video. It'll help get us pushed in the algorithm. We'll grow the channel because we're on the road to 10K subs. And I appreciate all that you guys do for this channel. But like I said in the intro, Jason Kidd has both Daniel Gafford as well as Derrick Lively working on their threes. It was reported first by Noah Weber saying the Dallas Mavericks bigs, Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford, working on threes from the left corner. First time I've seen Gafford work on threes since being a Maverick. Lively continues to show that his touch from downtown is there and growing. Now, if you've seen the mini clips floating throughout the Twitter spaces and the internet, Derrick Lively can hit threes. In an open gym situation, he hits them at a very nice clip. There was a video attached to that tweet where I saw Derrick Lively hitting the majority of his threes, whereas Daniel Gafford was hitting maybe every other three. Now, most NBA players can shoot threes. I mean, even Shaquille O'Neal now can still hit a three. But we're in the playoff situation. It's not really a time to really experiment with our lineups and our rotations. It's you kind of go with the flow. If you have to move the lineup as an adjustment, you do that. And that's a minor adjustment from just changing the lineup to asking one of your bigs to shoot threes. Again, especially when Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford both just live in the paint. They're shooting about 70+% from downtown. No, I'm sorry, not downtown, but in the paint. They're only getting their points from either dunks, lobs, or putbacks. But Derrick Lively, at least, has been having a great playoff run. He showed us that he's ready for the big moments in the first round against the Clippers. And then even now, against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Derrick Lively has one of the highest plus-minuses on our team. And this right here, the highest plus-minus in a playoff game by a rookie in Mavs history. The top 6... all 4 slots, or at least 4 of the slots, are occupied by Derrick Lively. He was a plus 24 in one game, plus 22 in game 5. He was a plus, 18 and a plus 16. Huge positive impact even as a rook. And I think that's something that we really want to take a good look at because we know Derrick Lively from the majority of the season is just a big man. He's a 7-footer. He can get blocks, lobs, dunks, all that stuff. But to know that he does have somewhat of a range in his bag, regardless of being only about 50% from the free throw line, is something that we definitely look forward to in the future of his development. But in the playoffs, that kind of adjustment is kind of risky. Now, I don't think that we're going to see Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford shoot threes anytime soon. But to see them in an open gym situation just working on it, Jason Kidd might be cooking up something special. Now, if we just look at his stats right here for old Derrick Lively, for the season, he's averaging about 8 points, 6.9 rebounds, 1.1 assists. He's shooting 74.7% from the floor as well as 50% from the free throw line. And we look over to Daniel Gafford. He's averaging 11 points, 7.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, shooting 72.5% from the floor and 67.4% from the free throw line. Daniel Gafford is a player who I don't have a problem with going to the line. I know 67% isn't that high, but in reality, at least in the playoffs, he's been shooting very well from the free throw line, aside from a game or two where he was banged up. And Derrick Lively showed us that if you try to do that hack-a-lively stuff, it really isn't going to work. He's going to make you pay for it. As in, want to say in Game 3, he shot 8 of 12 from the free throw line, which was huge for the Mavericks down the stretch where I was getting kind of worried. Derrick Lively is not that, at least on paper, he is not that good of a free throw shooter, but he came through clutch for us. Like I said, Derrick Lively has just grown so much as a Dallas Maverick and as a player, and even in the playoffs, he's continuing to grow. But if we're going to see Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford shooting from the 3, there's got to be a reason for it. If the Dallas Mavericks are confident that they can beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, where we don't really need our big space in the floor. I mean, yeah, Chet can shoot threes, but we got PJ, and even Kyrie or Derrick Jones Jr. has been on Chet. And as a whole, the Oklahoma City Thunder really isn't shooting that well from 3. So I don't think that's for any preparation in Game 6. I truly believe that Jason Kidd has his sights set for the third round against either the Denver Nuggets or the Oklahoma City Thunder. And if we're up against the Denver Nuggets, yes, Jokic can space the floor, he can shoot threes, but I don't necessarily think that's what we're preparing for, where I think our normal, usual plays against the Denver Nuggets will work. We just have Daniel Gafford or Derrick Lively play down low. We got Derrick Jones Jr., we got PJ Washington guarding the wings, Luka and Kyrie doing their thing. Our defense matches up pretty well with the Denver Nuggets naturally. However, for the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's where I think that we may need our bigs to space the floor a little bit more. And like I said, we do have somewhat of an update for our boy Maxi Kleber. As today, Maxi Kleber was getting some shots up during practice, which is huge. He has that shoulder tear. They said it would take about 3 weeks to recover, or at least in the next 3 weeks they were going to reevaluate, which should be in about a week and a half. And it's great. It's good to know that Maxi's at least in the gym getting shots up, but the return is still questionable. So against the Minnesota Timberwolves, if we do want to space the floor, I think Dereck Lively would be a better option than Daniel Gafford, but we all know that Dereck Lively and Daniel Gafford are like 1A, 1B. You got one on the court and one on the bench. You switch them, it's the same production. The guys split the big man minutes, and combined, they're like a much more efficient Shaquille O'Neal, if that's even possible. But regarding Maxi Kleber, the little bit of update that we do have was this. Jason Kidd on Maxi Kleber's injury, saying there is a possibility that he can return. It's great to see him get his cardio, his blood flow going. It's all progress. It's all going in the right direction, and I think that's a positive for him, but also for his teammates and coaches to see him doing some basketball activity. We'll see what that timetable looks like as we go forward. So, not necessarily like a date or a real in a week or two he'll be back. Nothing really concrete, but the progress has been positive. Again, that picture I showed you of him in the gym just putting up shots where he was making a good bit of those is a positive thing. If Maxi can return maybe in the middle of the third round, late in the third round, that would be great. His defense is phenomenal, and it will be definitely needed whether we're up against the Denver Nuggets where Aaron Gordon will be in the paint or Jokic on the perimeter. Maxi's defense will be just super valuable for this Mavericks team. And if we see the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's even better because we know Karl-Anthony Towns lives on the perimeter. Now, he can attack the paint, and that's what we got Daniel Gafford, Dereck Lively for. But if they want to go 5 out and space the floor, Maxi's our best bet. Now, I'm not saying Maxi's the best stretch 4, but it's the playoffs. We can't go out and get anybody better. For now, Maxi is our best stretch 4. He showed a lot of promise in the first round against the Clippers, where his defense was great. He was affecting shots at a high percentage. I think I was trying to find the stats, but I want to say Maxi had one of the highest altered shot percentages in the playoffs right before his injury, which was huge. And it's all about the little things. When it comes to defense, when it comes to this Dallas Mavericks team, these guys work hard at all the little things. You got Derrick Jones Jr. guarding guards. You got PJ Washington guarding bigs and guards. You got Maxi Kleber down low affecting shots left and right. The Mavericks are like a machine, and every little piece matters, and Maxi is definitely being missed. I truly believe that this series against Oklahoma City Thunder would be done in 4 or 5 games if Maxi was available. However, it's the playoffs. Like I said, we can't go out and get another player to replace somebody. We got to work with what we got, and maybe that means Tim Hardaway Jr. gets a few more minutes. Who knows? I'm just saying. You gotta exercise all options. We did have to put Jaden Hardy in Game 5 over Dante Exum, who saw no minutes in Game 5, whereas Jaden Hardy, being not that shy from handling the ball, taking shots, and passing, had somewhat of an impact. I think he was a minus in the plus-minus box. I could be wrong, but From what the eye test showed, Jaden Hardy had a good impact in Game 5, even in that little short stint. So who knows? Maybe in the third round, if and when the Mavericks make it there, we'll see some 3-point shots fall from Dereck Lively and Daniel Gafford. I'm not expecting those guys to be prime dirt from 3, but maybe 1 or 2 a game, at least 1 or 2 attempts. If they don't make it, please stop shooting. You're not Luka Doncic. But who knows? Jason Kidd is a very different coach from many coaches that we see across the league. He's a little bit unorthodox. He does like to think outside the box, and maybe, like I said, this could be all preparation for the third round. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think this is Jason Kidd trying to be a mad scientist and just cook up something? Or maybe this is just guys just getting shots up? You guys let me know. But that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you check out our Discord, Twitter, link in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another free jersey giveaway, and the only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member. Until next time, y'all take care. Peace.